Chet, hello, hello. What's going on, Collective? It's your boy Stinny here from Prevail, and today I have a special guest with me. First time caster here, Sensei Razor. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, I'm Sensei Razor. I'm actually from Prime, one of the teams playing tonight, and I'll be your co-caster.
Oh, I didn't even know you were from this team. That's odd.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
go ahead. Take the lead, man. Take the lead. You're hyped.
Well, okay. Sorry, I'm a little uppity today. So these teams we have 3D and Prime, 7th and 9th place respectively, and when I looked at the sheet, there's a 3-point separation. So this match means a lot to both teams. For 3D, if they end up winning the match, they'll be 1 point behind the 6th place team. And if Prime Elite end up winning this game, they will actually move to 7th and take over 3D's spot. So there's a lot on the line for both these teams. Our map tonight will be Border, from my understanding. Now, from what I've seen, 3D and Prime are both have an equal record on Border. But I don't have all the statistics with me. Have you seen either of these teams play, Skinny, on Border?
Last time 3D was here on Border was 2 game days ago against, I believe, Reborn, and they won that 7-3. So, but as for Prime Elite, I am not as well versed on this team as you are, as I believe they did come into the season a bit late, but their last member has arrived here, and we will be getting into the game here.
Yeah, so it looks like we're still waiting on one person up from Prime.
Just got it. Nope, he just got it. Profit.
Oh, okay.
So, bans here. I'm gonna say it right now. 3D lately has been forcing a Thatcher ban like no tomorrow, so I will not be surprised to see them bust that out. But what do you see going on here? You know your team better than I do.
Yeah, I see them. I don't see them banning Maestro. I see more of an Echo ban. 3D, I can see banning the Thatcher, and Prime. Honestly, I can't guarantee who they're going to pick, but it looks like starting off we have a Buck ban.
Buck, very useful on a map like Border, and there's the Thatcher ban.
Great
3D has been running this into the ground.
Yep, they're banning that Thatcher, but what that still leaves Nomad and Maverick on the board, so that flank watch on Nomad and the wall clearing for Maverick.
Definitely.
So we have an Echo ban.
See, that's curious that you say that, because I don't feel that Nomad or Maverick are really too powerful on this map, and a Legion ban for the last pick here. Interesting choice. Prime maybe looking to go for a lot of shield play there, so that's usually what Legion bans will lead to. But yeah, they go back to that statement. Nomad and Maverick, definitely 2 powerful operators on any map, but I feel like Border is probably their least powerful maps, you could say. But there's that Thermite and a Maverick coming out.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
the Legion ban tells me 2 things again, like you had said, shield play or a rush stat, so they aren't slowed up by the goo mines and all the other utility.
Definitely.
So I'm really interested to see how this is gonna play out. So it looks like we're having 6 picks from Ying to
into what looks to be a Nomad, and on the side of Prime Elite we got the dot to a Mira, as should be known that Mira made it through the ban phase, which is semi uncommon. But what's not common is this first site we're going to here is going to be Custom Supply. Definitely seen more as an off-site among teams, along with Bathroom Towers here. It's not unplayable, but it's definitely not something you see picked first every day. But I want to go back to the bans for a second here. The Buck ban, definitely a powerful operator to have on a map like Border, but I don't feel that it's as influential of a ban, just because Border, you have 1 upstairs site that's up here in Armory Archives, and then you have 3 downstairs sites, so at most you can still bring a Sledge, and he's useful on the majority of the sites, so not 100% on that one, but Maybe it's a target ban.
And Sledge brings that same utility as in like the frag grenades and the soft destruction, as well as he gets the added benefit if either team brings a Maestro and the other brings a Sledge, that if in the right position, Sledge can take out those Maestro cams. So that's going to be a lot of what's interesting. One of the things I did see is I don't think 3D ended up bringing the IQ. So those Echo drones are going to be even more powerful, and it's going to be even more crucial for that Echo to stay alive through the game.
Definitely. Now, I know you're talking about IQs and Echoes here, but I hate to break it to you, but Echoes in fact banned.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
No worries, first kill though, coming out from Jalapenos, picks up a second on two Prometheus and Aster respectively. Going for a third, cannot connect. Prime Elite flying right back, taking out Jalapeno and Riots. That is the Sledge and Nomad taken out. Bandit being taken out by Tato. That is Tato on Ash here, just already taking full control of Archives. And man, all this banter about operators, and we're already halfway through this round. 3D man advantage, up one body. They do. Prime Elite, however, does still have control of security room, which is crucial for like customs and supply, but this man advantage will not play in their favor as they only have one body on site. That is the smoke of Disciple. Out here looking for beta. Plant already going down, but Athena from above will take out Pete. So that's the fuser down in supply room window. It's all up now to NX and Tasha to go retrieve it. However, with well over a minute left, they have plenty of time to do so, but they need to clear this mirror out. It's going to be a major housing for them, especially given the C4, and Tato will do just that. Thank you, and that's hits the final kill into the Disciple, and 3D take round one.
So, from what I'm hearing, because my video's lagging really far behind, like it's still loading in for me. So, just from what I'm hearing, it seems like the early man advantage for 3D really did play out in their favor, and I don't know, from just what I heard, it looked like Prime, or it sounded like Prime were just getting a little aggressive on their plays. Would you agree with this? Like, agree with that?
Little bit. From what I saw, Jalapeno was really engaging in fight and really putting up numbers in that first round. He got two, went for a third, but couldn't get it. I'll try to do you a quick favor here. Maybe this will work. Just back. I don't know if this will work, but certainly worth a try, as we will be going to Armory Archives for our second site here.
Yeah, if this video doesn't pull up, I might just pull up the stream on Twitch and watch it. No, this is working a little bit better.
Keep in mind, if you do that on a stream, then you're going to have a delay to it, apparently. But
yeah, that's what I'm gonna actually end up. That's what I'm gonna end up doing here.
alright. My apologies for having such terrible internet to not provide the utmost quality to a Discord screen share, but that's all.
Oh no, you're fine. I was turning the volume off for this, and once I get connected, we'll go in and review a little bit. Okay.
And that's good too. Twitch chat for me. Curious mirror setup going out here by Prime Elite, as we've got a double mirror inside of the closet, one on a reinforced wall and one at crouch level on a soft wall. I'm not sure what the plays are going to be here, but this is a good lineup.
Oh no, you don't see that very
Prime
often
Elite.
either. Yeah, you don't see that very often anymore in general, is the double mirror setup. But it's something I
You
wonder if
also
they
don't see. I don't mean to hit you off, but I'm curious on this pulse pick with the M10. Not something you see every day, but he's so close to a flank on Taco, but he just misses it as Athena will take out NX while he's retried by Jalapeno. Oh my goodness, no! And Taco will get a nice flick onto the Disciple, and that is the pulse and the Gator already taken down in the first minute. That's one C4 down. First castle barricade by Metal Detector does go down as well. 3D playing very aggressive on their attacks as Castle will be down. It appeared to be down by the Nomad. And 3D has full control of Archive. Riot's going for a second, will down. Mira engaging with the Smoking Prophet, who does take out Taco, but Jalapeno will ultimately get the Fraud onto Prophet, and Riot's probably do his kill on the down Castle, and 3D takes their second round in very commanding fashion. What a horrible misplay by the Pulse of Disciple.
And what it looked like their information game was just off. Like there was no information being relayed on comms, and I don't know whether comms were clear or whether comms were just hectic. And it just looked like the information wasn't there for being relayed.
See, what I'm confused about though is they had a Pulse playing downstairs in Workshop, right? You know, typical Pulse spot. You hear Vent's window get open. You have utility to see if someone is in there, and instead you just stalled it out, and just poor time management. Not even time management, just poor timing. Just really cost him his life.
Well, it's just
ultimately a lot
it
of
just looked like
as well.
It was a poor use of utility in general, from the Pulse. Because I can almost guarantee if the Pulse would have stayed up, that round could have looked at least a lot different, if not a prime win for that round. If anything, it could look like a less commanding take from 3D. And do keep in mind, there's only a one win 3-point difference between these two teams.
Definitely. I want to go back to that Pulse as well. If not even if he had taken out the Ash, which I mean would have been essential to holding or maintaining Workshop control, but if he had been able to get C4 up, because if you would notice, 3D were stacked within Archives. You could have easily gotten 1 or 2, maybe even 3 if he placed it perfectly. But what I'm curious about more so than that is the fact that Prime Elite keep going back to the customs. Now, this is the second site, and they haven't yet seen no events. Now, granted, teams have their preferences, but in my experience, it's not wise to force an offsite if you don't need to. As we have the Mirror of Athena here holding up top in security, along with the Pulse of Prometheus. So more top floor control for sure, but hopefully they can maintain that. We also have the Castle of Aster offering side support from Armory. He is currently being droned out. So crucial shots on a drone, but that's okay. Prometheus will get the opening kill though for Prime Elite. That is the Sledge of Jalapeno taking out. Taco refrats onto Athena. That's the Mirror taking out. Prometheus with the second kill onto the Nomad, looking to get a third here on the Taco. Shots raining out, unsuccessful. Bold to go for a reload, which will ultimately cost him his life. Taco picks up his second kill, but immediately is refragged by Prophet. So back and forth between these two teams, but Prime Elite ultimately have man advantage right now. Pete's equalizing here, taking out Disciple. That is the smoke taken out, and that's most all of your plant now gone. All you have left is the C4 of Prophet. And Pete's would get a second kill on the Castle of Aster, who for some reason was still up inside of Armory lockers, and now it's up now to the Bandit of Prophet in a 1v2, and we're only halfway through this round. A lot of these rounds already are just turning into all brawls. I'm not sure if 3D is aware that they have top 4 control, but they most certainly have top 4 control. And looks like Pieces might actually have to go for a plant here, as it appears that, Prophet is being pinged out here, and will be taken out by Anets from above, and 3 consecutive rounds for 3D on the board.
Now that round looked better from the side of Prime. It looked like they started using the mana, they started over peaking the man advantage, or they were overusing it. And I think in the end that's what cost them, is their aggression. Prime is one of those teams known for, you know, they're just full of rank stars. And what I mean by that is, like, people who go into rank, heavy frag, you know, that get all the kills, and it doesn't seem like they know how to either use their utility properly, or aren't kind of, the game sense is a little bit different, especially in a competitive-based, situation like this.
Certainly.
And what was confusing about that is, on the downstairs site, the pulse, like, you don't need the pulse. And so that's what confused me about that pick, is that pulse, when they could have used a different utility-based operator to really stop that push, especially someone who would anchor on site, someone like the Maestro or a Doc. You could even play in CC.
And to add on top of that, you're saying that you don't really need a pulse for custom supply, and I agree, but on top of that, you have the pulse playing upstairs in supply room, or security rather, with the Mira, so really curious decision to have two of your C4s just upstairs instead of openly ready to deny plants. So some curious decisions being made here by Prime Elite. Though I will say though, on Prometheus's end on the pulse last round, had he not gone for a reload and instead swapped out his for his pistol, he definitely, I believe he could have gotten the third pick on the Taco and could have easily shifted that round into Prime Elite's favor even heavily. But you will be going back.
Yeah, and what
archives here. Go on.
What it ends up looking like is 3D is riding this wave of momentum, and especially for a map like Border where it's so defensive sided, what I hope we end up seeing is this just based on the bans ends up being more attacking sided, and that this doesn't just shoot Prime Elite in the foot.
Definitely. And I should add in the case of 3D, this is their first game over 3 that I've seen them start on attack. The last 2 they've started on defense. But with that knowledge, this is their 3rd game. They have lost a total of 1 round on attack over 3 games so far, which I think is 1, impressive, and 2, scary.
Yeah. But what that says is that, just based on their placement, is that their defense isn't going to be as strong, or might not be as strong. So this is definitely going to be an exciting match. It's already been an exciting match, but I do think we're going to have a couple top 10 moments for this match, based on these two teams are both very frag heavy teams. As you see, neither team's really going for straight plant. What they're doing is they're fragging and trying to get
absolutely going for the kills. But to recap what happened over the last 2 minutes, bottom floor control being fought tooth and nail by Prime Elite. They did 2 picks onto the Ash and Sledge respectively. However, Riot's on the Nomad gets 2 picks of his own to equalize. However, Prophet did get a pick onto the Thermite, so we have man advantage for Prime Elite here as one of the mirror windows is ejected. I don't know if it was by a teammate or someone on 3D. However, that is Archive's mirror down, and we've got an office push coming out here by 3D. Down a man, however, Prophet could go for a flank here onto the metal stairs into 90 hallway. I'm not sure if Riots is aware of this, expecting the flank from security. This is a poor lack of drone work, and Prophet will capitalize on it. That is Riots down, and now it's all up now to Annette, who will take out Aster, but he's got 2 players left to do it. Gets 1 and 2 onto Prometheus now, and now we're in a 1v1 here, and that's a site control. And we'll actually go for the plant. No information being relayed. We'll hop off of it. Prophet aware of the player inside of Armory, but all he has to do is wait it out. We'll rush it. No time left. Misses the C4. He doesn't know he's in sandwich. And Annette will clutch it out for 3D in a round that surely looked like it was going to go to Prime Elite. Just unfortunate circumstances for Prime Elite there. Just poor timing, and Annette's taking every advantage possible to win that out for 3D, and that puts them up 4-0. Give a quick scoreboard here for everyone wondering. Got Taco at 6, Annette's coming out huge that last round at 5-1 now. Jalapeno rocking the 4-3, and Pete's and Riot's doing their duty on support. On the side of Prime Elite, outside of Prophet and Athena, not a whole lot's coming out by them as far as frads go. And as we say, frads don't dictate everything, but
yeah, but they dictated that
down
round.
4 rounds. So, yeah, for sure.
And
I will say that was Prime Elite's closest round for sure.
Oh yeah, and the thing about it is Prime are overshooting and overextending themselves. They need to fall back. They need to hold sight. That flank, their tempo is slow, and 3D's really reading it. And any mistake that Prime is making, then 3D's just eating it up.
Yeah, and really on top of that, just they're on their defensive half, which is when you've got man advantage, you don't need to push anything like that because time is on your side. Like as you saw there, and that's clutching out with I believe like 30 seconds left to pick up 2 huge kills in the beginning, and then Prophet just unaware of where the Maverick was, but.
And it looked like there's a lack of information. One of the things that I think Prime need to do is they need to bring the Valkyrie. They need to bring someone with a bulletproof camera. They need to do something to where, because that plant, that's a default spot that's one of the default spots for that site. He should know already that he's planting either there or he's planting archive wall, or not archive wall.
So
but
you're saying.
wall.
So you're saying a lack of information on Primal Elite's side is really hurting them?
Yeah. And you can just tell it by the tempo of their play. That flank was very timid from the Bandit because he didn't know where everyone was, and that's... So that ends up being
what a huge play for 3D here. Prometheus not missing the C4, just unable to net a kill off of it or take down the exotherm charges of the thermite. However, Athena will get the first pick on the Taco. As the IQ takes down, but like you said, not a whole lot of information really to be gathered by that standard. You've got Athena taking a lot of damage from security. We'll drop back to offices. He is supported by Prophet, who's rotated back into archives here. Pete's just sitting here on Repel. He's got all of Army Wall open. Riot's taking a lot of damage. He will take the kill onto Disciple. That's the Vigil taken down. So Rowan presence will be softened on the side of Primal Elite here. Full security control here by 3D. Jalapeno going for a nade here. Almost has a kill. We'll drop the mirror down to that's no health. Second nade, Ultra Net, and that's Prometheus taken down. Jalapeno is in sight, looking for a second kill onto Astra here, as we've got Athena fighting from opposite. The plant's going down here. Jalapeno covering the planter of Pete's. Plant goes down, Astra goes down, Prophet as well. That's 2 for Jalapeno. Going out huge here, and now it's all up now to the Yater of Athena with Nets no health on 1v4. Jalapeno picks up his 3rd kill of the round, and 3D, 5 rounds in a row here. Really, really dominant attacking half here by 3D.
Yeah.
And by the way, I meant to ask you real quick, are you using this Discord call or no?
No.
Okay. So I'm doing that then. But okay. Go on.
One of the things that you don't see a lot in general is clean sweeps, but on Border it's normal for at least maybe a 4-2 split at the half. But this doesn't look good on the side of Prime. It's again, it's the lack of information, and 3D seems to be relying on that lack of information. A lot of their push, Prime could stop just based on the lack of information. That downstairs control doesn't seem to be as crucial as maintaining upstairs, so maybe throwing more bodies upstairs on and around site would work better for Prime, based on the way 3D's using it, because from what I'm seeing, they're only using 2 operators to clear the bottom floor, which was Ash and the Nomad were clearing bottom.
Absolutely. See, and what I'm curious about too, with their lack of information, is they have a Valkyrie available, they have a Maestro available, and I don't believe either has been picked at all in this match. And on top of that, what I'm more curious about is they're really trying to force this custom supply for their last defense. They've only touched Armory and Customs 3 apiece this entire half, not once bothering to go to Ventilation Workshop, which in my opinion is a much easier site to defend. Hell, in my opinion, I even think Bathroom Tellers is a better site than Customs, but I mean, teams are different, but when you're down 0-5 here and you're going to an offsite for your last defense, that's not a good tale. And
yeah, and
much to both of our disappointments here, this Dodge, they brought out the Dodge, there's no hard cam on the Dodge. So, still, just only relying on this Mira for any sort of information really really puzzling defense by Prime Elite on this first half, I must say.
Yeah, and hopefully in the attack, the information game is a little bit better. Maybe they can read into it, or maybe 3D will end up having the same problem with the information game.
Definitely.
But I can almost highly doubt it, because 3D's probably going to read into the fact that that Prime had a lack of information.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been doing that in spades this first half. Pick on the Prophet will come out by Tato here. However, Prometheus refracts on the Pizza and gets a second on the Prophet here, so huge round from him so far. As we've got 2 players by 3D on low health. Riot takes out Prometheus, was refragged by Athena, and it's all now left to Jalapeno and Anets, both on very low health in a 2v3 here against 3. That's the fully health defenders here. Castle going for a rotate here up top. Almost shoots his teammate. But this is Prime Elite forfeiting top 4 control. But they have full site control, and not a whole lot that 3D can really do in this situation. They do have over a minute left, so it is definitely possible for them to come back, but this looks like Prime Elite might actually be taking their first round here.
Yeah, and just from what I'm saying, it looks like 3D.
Him. You saw him. Oh,
it looks
dropping from above. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just...
No, you're good.
So we've got 3 betting for time. Athena takes out Jalapeno, and now it's all up now to the Maverick of NX. Athena walks right past us and see him. He's just in a corner here. I think I don't even know what he's going to have to attempt to do here, but it's going to have to be really heroic. And we'll fall into the crosshairs of Aster and Prime Elite. Finally, after, I can't sugarcoat it, an abysmal first half, will in fact pick up their first kill. And what, not really a better time to do it than at a 5-round deficit, because that'll put them onto their offensive half, and by all means they could 6-0 sweep this back to a 7-5 in their favor.
Yeah, but the likelihood for just because 3D's winning their gunfights. Prime are getting into gunfights that they're solo manning these gunfights, and where there is one 3D player, another one's coming in to refrag if one goes down. So if they 6-0 sweep it, then there's gonna have to be a complete mentality shift for it to work.
Absolutely, and absolutely, and on top of that, the fact that 3D are getting these refrags just shows to prove a lot of great communication between the members of 3D. And I mean, on top of that, a 5-1 difference in your first half, that already speaks volumes. As I will mention, 3D, to my knowledge, has played, I want to say, 14 attacking rounds over 3 games, and they have won 12 of them. So
that's an insane sweep.
Yeah, definitely. 3D are just proving to be indomitable on their attacks, and on top of that, the fact that they ban a Thatcher every time, so they're aware of how to attack multiple maps without a Thatcher, which is a beautiful skill to have.
Yeah, and if you saw, every time that they were on offense, they were bringing the Maverick, so they know they have someone who's trained on that Maverick to fulfill Thatcher's role.
Definitely.
So the Buck Ban didn't hurt them, and most teams train without the Echo Maestro, and a lot of the time they'll end up training without the Mira. So what you see is a lot of people don't play the Mira, but when it's available and you have a good Mira player, that can be the difference in a round. So I'm excited to see whether 3D will bring the Mira to any of these sites. I see from the first lineup they're bringing Pulse, Smoke, Jaeger, Kaid, and Valkyrie. So a very information-heavy team. with two notable anchors and one notable roamer.
First kill though coming out by Prometheus. That's a Yater taken down, and Riot's taken down as well. However, Yater not the most influential pick as all his utility is already placed, but what I do like to see though is the fact that 3D on their defense have brought out a Valkyrie along with the Pulse going downstairs. They will take out Prometheus as the retry onto the Twitch. There wasn't a whole lot of the Twitch left, but it does appear that Prime might actually be going for a plant here. As first smoke canister comes out, this Monte, just being, the human drone, getting tanked by those smoke grenades, but that is the last smoke canister by Jalapeno expended, and we still have a little under halfway of this match to go. Montaigne will be lit up heavily by the smoke canister. Yeah. However,
but that's just
3D,
a great waste of utility
from left as well.
Yeah, that's just a great waste of smoke utility from the Montaigne, and that's a lot of what we saw on their defense that they lacked was that information. And like you said, Montaigne's that human drone. He can give you that information real time. And I don't know, I wonder if on defense they would have benefited from using the Clash or something as that similar kind of human drone with someone backing them up.
Definitely. However, 3D really just collapsing onto Prime Elite in that first defense. That will put them on match point 6-1 so far. Give a quick scoreboard here. Jalapeno and Taco really fragging out for 3D, but no one really lacking on the side of 3D either. In fact, no one is negative on the squad. At most, you've got Riot's breaking even, but he's still doing his job. But on the side of Prime Elite, Prophet and Athena did put in some work that last round, along with Prometheus, but Disciple and Aster have been almost non-existent in this game so far. As for the first time in this entire match, and I hate that I'm saying this in the second half of the game, you will see a ventilation workshop defense.
And it looks like Prime are just having a problem with the adaptability and kind of the rotation of 3D. 3D seem to be, when someone dies, they know, okay, this utility is either off the board or we can't use this gun. We need to fill that spot. And so,
definitely,
what we're seeing is Prime ends up not being able to kind of fill those rules that they're losing and leaving a lot of people solo by themselves.
Yeah, really questionable play by Prime Elite throughout this whole game. I'm not entirely sure what's off with them right now, but at most they can only get a point here, and if they're even going to attempt that, they've got a long slide ahead of them. 5 consecutive rounds in a row they'll have to manage here, but I will say 3D looking indomitable lately in their games here, and I touched on it last round a little bit, but the Valkyrie pick was huge for them in that last round, and I'm sure it'll be the same in this round as well. No pulse play coming out this time, but as you're on a first foresight, it's not really mandatory, but 3D definitely looking to invest heavy into their top 4 control here. So we've got Riots both getting a little bit of lag, but going for a spawn peek, but will not find anyone. However, Taco on the other hand will, that is Disciple down, that's the Maverick, and one quote-unquote hard breacher down. Maverick's a bit of a oddity
if you could check
goes,
the if you could check the dock real quick and see what he brought, if he brought the barbed wire, if he brought the bulletproof camera.
Barbed wire.
He brought the barbed wire. Okay, so they're relying a lot on, they're relying a lot on these battery cams, but as we said previously, what they're doing different than Prime is they're kind of using this information to their advantage, relaying the calls, and we can see that it's working for them. They're getting picks, and Prime doesn't know what's coming at them.
But even then, I don't even know how much they're really being reliant on the Valkyrie cams. I know I said they were huge for them last round, but even then, like, 3D has just been winning flat-out gunfights, and half the time, it's gunfights that Prime Elite don't even need to take what they are, and it's really boggling me, personally. Jalapeno will take out Prophet in a second onto Prometheus. That's the Twitch and Jackal down, and we're in a 5v2 here, all left to Athena and Aster here. Aster will take out Taco, that is the Rook taking down, but it's probably your least influential kill that you can get as far as operators go on the side of 3D. Blackbeard getting lit up heavily here outside of Passport, really contesting with Jalapeno, I believe. As it appears a run out from above will happen, and Jalapeno with the knife from above. The airmail getting sent out onto Athena here. It's up now to Aster in a 1v4 to 1v3. The battery has been downed. 3D just playing with their food now. Keats, I believe, didn't need to be out there. Or no, that was Riots, my bad. However, Jalapeno will pick up the final kill onto Aster, and 3D, well aware of their dominance in this game, will just shut it out. And what a game. Jalapeno in that last round was on fire there, I believe, picking up 4 kills. Yeah. Blend in double digits at 13-4, but all of 3D really performing here. Not so much on the side of Pride and Elite, but 7-1 for your storyline is definitely. So
a lot of what is being taken away from that is that just their information game. They need to up their information game, and they need to start working or relying on their IGL. From my understanding, you know, their in-game leader, they need that. They need him to make the call. He or she. They need them to make the calls, and they need them to really lead this team. And it seems from what I saw, the team was just disconjointed and didn't have the information needed to really shut out a team like 3D. And that's really the difference between your top tier teams. Like, I know at least you're off Prevail, which you guys, from my understanding, are on, either you or F6 are on a really good. Both of your teams are on a really good season right now. And how much would you say of that is information game?
Oh, a lot. I mean, I don't mean the flex, but you know, we're always brought up with Prevail and droning. Name a more iconic duo. Yeah. But facts. I mean, yeah, definitely the information game was lacking in this game for Prime Elite, as we're not talking about my team, we're talking about this game at hand. But on top of even just the lack of information, which it wasn't even utilized for them, but the fact that they weren't even winning their gunfights is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know, it just really just seemed like it didn't really even seem like Prime Elite were playing as a team there. It almost seemed like you just took 5 people and just threw them into a game against 3D. Yep.
And what that does is that brings 3D within 1 point spot. And so, will we be getting the IGL for 3D in here?
Not this time, as Tactics their IGL, but I don't know if we're going to be getting Jalapeno or NX. I believe it should be NX. Let's try to invite one. If not NX, then it'll be Jalapeno.
Yeah, but going back, just watching the cast and everything, it's just that their information was lacking, and that's not to say 3D didn't. You know, it was easy for 3D. 3D were just winning their gunfights and capitalizing on, you know, mistakes, and that's what you got to do at this level of gameplay. Is you have to capitalize on mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So we will be getting Jalapeno in here, it seems like. Okay. Let's wait for him to get in here.
Yeah. And while
if at all.
There he is.
Jalapeno. What up, what up?
Hey, what up, what up?
Yeah, sorry for that delay, as I'm being told to invite
it's fine.
30 different people.
They talk about something to do.
But yeah, I know, he told me. But yeah, so first of all, GG. Really strong game for you guys, especially 7-1 on border. And I want to touch on, first of all, because you guys have done this for 3 games now, as the Thatcher ban has really been playing into your guys' favor. One, because it's throwing off the people you're playing against on defense, or when they go to attack, but 2, you guys have played 14 rounds of attack over 3 games, and you've won 12 of them, which is just scary, honestly. But really, it's just like a huge just dominance on your guys' attacks lately. How much of that is the Thatcher ban, and how much of that is just you guys are just reading into these defenses? Because like, you guys are attacking better without a Thatcher than a lot of teams would with a Thatcher in these scenarios. So what's
I
the
think
secret,
like
honestly?
for us is like for banning the Thatcher. I mean, we just to play aggressive. I mean, that's all it is.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I mean, we've been doing that throughout the whole game, just playing aggressive.
so how much of your guys' kind of success over this game at least was based on your information game? You guys were running the Valkyrie as opposed to Prime, who really seemed to be disconjointed and have no information. Was that calls from your IGL, or was that just you guys kind of reading into their attacks?
I mean, it was sort of like half and half. It was like from the like what you call it. It was just half and half. We would get intel from the supporters, and then the people that are just helping us from give us intel like upstairs. Whoever's holding all this and that.
Absolutely. Another thing that I want to touch on, and it's more so on the side of Prime Elite, but on top of their lack of information, were you guys at all surprised that they went customs 3 times and didn't even touch fence?
Yeah, we were really surprised when they went first round. We thought we'd go like we would go armory, but that surprised us. But we knew what to do, so
I mean, I'm sorry for really the lack of questions, but I really just don't have a whole lot to really touch on from that game outside of you guys just being
No, that's fine.
It was
dominant,
very
of
open
course.
and shut.
Yeah, but that's your guys' 3rd win over 3 weeks for sure. And yeah, really looking like a different team here altogether.
They're
So
just trying to make a
props
comeback.
personally for me to you guys, because I had the pleasure of streaming with you guys way back, and that was not at all the team that I see in these last couple of games here. So props to you guys from me personally.
Thank you.
Yeah. The only question I really have left is so from my understanding, this puts you guys within 1 point of 6th place. Are you guys going to end up trying to have a run for the season? For not really top, but like at least top 5 for you guys. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
what team? Yeah, what team do you guys really see as being your hardest team to kind of come up against within the next top 5?
I'd say I don't know, this maybe Check Six, GT. I think this is only those 2, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think Skinny and I can give you a little bit of time. Just shout out maybe people on your team, your org, IGL, people kind of running the thing.
Just follow Collective eSports, follow us, 3D Gaming, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, so nice and short, I like it. So
Yep.
with that, that's been Collective eSports for at least this game, as I'm being a very lazy caster and not knowing our schedule for games today. But we may or may not be back, my apologies. However, this has kind of been last minute, but I've been your host, Skinny. With me today has been Sensei Razor, first time casting, show him some love. You only go up from here, wasn't bad. And then Jalapeno from 3D, but yeah, with that, make sure to give us a follow on Collective eSports on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all of our social medias. We'd love to have you here, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.